Again, like I said, I'm not recording. It's a pleasure to have everybody here. Just so I can double check, Mason, give me a thumbs up. You can see me, you can hear me if that's correct. All right, thank you very much. The way we're gonna run shop is I'm gonna do some housekeeping stuff, just kind of read through it. And then there's about 50 individual parts of this that's gonna probably make or break someone's agency for the better. And they're all hints, tips, and expert secrets that I figured out, learned, done, tested, that is working for us. They will probably work for you, but implementation is everything. And I think what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do a segment and then open the Zoom chat and answer a couple questions. And I'll be cognizant of time. I can't answer everything, stuff like that. But that's what I found for me to be the best way moving forward. So this is behind the scenes of how I get 48 clients a month, not 48, but 4 to 8 clients a month. Fulfill in about 30 minutes, which I believe will be the new standard for how agencies do and should be working. Have happy as F clients. When I say happy as that, I mean like they're getting the good bang for the buck. They're not like raving fans of like, I'm Jeff, I'm sending you this. They're like, yeah, this is good. I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna renew because ultimately that's what we want for our business. And operate with what I believe should be normal margins for an agency. I'm in the bucket of I'll see somebody on stage saying, wow, I made $1 million. And like, man, you paid me $1,000 out for consulting and I know you only make 10%. I don't think that's a business. I think that's a trophy. And when we're talking shop here, it's in the context of providing a service, fairly charging for it, and having money left over to pay yourself. Yes, this is copywritten. You can't use it, you can't distribute it, you can't sell it with our written explicit permission. And if you're not part of the agency Facebook group, you should. We do these lives every Wednesday. We have a great time. The tribe is cool. And my goal is to blow your mind, give you a taste of what's inside the IC because we talk about it all this time and realize ultimately your dollars are safe and well spent. We all know sometimes we spent money and then right after you're like, oh, I hate that. I don't want that experience for you. You spent your money wisely. I'm gonna give you actionable, practical, and doable. That should be a term that we talk about, doable advice from somebody, me, who is still doing done for you agency without any fluff. I'm not coaching coaches on how to coach coaches. Like this is done for you agency for other marketers. And I want to give you enough ton of small manageable things and easy things to do that stack up and give a significant improvement to your business. And I want to get at least one person to talk about joining the IC and scaling your company's growth at agencyscalingsecrets.com. Housekeeping stuff, remove all your distractions, phone, browsers, tabs, audio, YouTube, all that fun stuff, anything that's not moving you towards your goals. Close them out, get rid of them. Don't let your brain fail you. This is for agencies, digital marketers, and local businesses looking to build an understanding of how to profitably advertise, get in front of their clients, and get those people to book a call for done for you service that they want to buy and be happy with it. I don't want you on the phone to people like, I'm thinking about it. I want you on the phone with people that are like, I want to buy it, I want to be happy with it. Agency scaling secrets. We're really, really good at our job. This guy did literally, I did 1.15 million last year. I joined the IC in July. I hit 10K in August, and that fella is now doing over $100,000 a month. This guy just walks around Amsterdam and Denmark having a great time, working 15 minutes, making between $6,000 and $10,000 a month. Joshua, Jeff, not me, but different Jeff, they're making F ton of money. Here's some Stripe screenshots for a $5,000 a month client that has been with us for over a year. We're darn good at our job. I think you should join. That's all the self promo. Let's boogie. This is in no particular order, but just as I wrote it, number one, client getting ads. We've all seen and thought that these very unclear biz-oppy, what if you could add 20, 30, 40, $50,000 a month to your business? What if we get you a certain number of appointments, 90 appointments guaranteed, $60,000 a month or your money back, or any of the, like those very biz-oppy, unclear ads? I genuinely believe those are the worst ads to run. They're very, very bad. I've never ever seen a professional company use those ads and be successful. It's just an agency just being an agency, not a company being a company. Those types of ads get very low quality businesses, low quality people, and very suspicious people. If you're on the phone with somebody, it's like, I saw your ad, I'm not really sure. Problems with the ad, not with your sales calls. Like the ad should do the filtering, not your appointment setter and not your salesperson. Like I mentioned before, client getting ads that are like, hey, if we added $50,000 a month to your business, Michael says no power offer. Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah, that type of stuff. I believe that they attract low money and no money people who have big problems and force a lot of effort to the qualification done by appointment setting, sales, and fulfillment. And we all accidentally built this business where like we're trying to take the worst people in the world, give them a great service, and then watch them complain to us, filter at the ad. Like the filtering is at the ad, no ifs, ands, or buts. Instead, you should put your person that's at the top, your product in the middle, and your price at the bottom, and run to a custom audience. I've never had success with lookalikes. I've never had success with like, let's get you a certain number of booked appointments. They're very suspicious, all that stuff. If you migrate your client getting ads to this type of structure, in my experience, your mileage may vary, but it's going to remove a lot of variables. Like what did I sign up for? That's a problem. And the bycatch, which is like if you're advertising to dentists and you get patients on the phone with you, that's a problem. It's impossible to be confused, by the way, when your ad is clear, like the one right there. And you want to have grocery store flyer ads. Again, this is in my personal opinion. This is my experience. Somebody's going to yell at me. I'm wrong. I'm fine with that, man. It's the internet. Everybody's going to be wrong. But I migrated all of my client getting and all my customer film to this structure right here because it's very clear what they're getting and what they're charging. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. If you're on the phone with somebody from your client getting ads and they're not super interested, the problem's with your ad, not your salesperson-ness. Like you do not want to be spending, Gina Pool's going to laugh, like 10, 20, 30, 40, $50,000 on a salesperson as a placement because your client getting ad is not pulling in good people. You don't want to do that. Like Apple doesn't say, hey, we're going to have super highly, she's clapping, super highly paid Apple Store geniuses. No, man, it's retail. They're lowly paid. The product and the price and that type of stuff brings in people that want to buy. They're just order takering. You want to have that same experience inside of your agency. I found that when I'm doing this type of stuff and I'm spending $30 a day, I give myself a week. If nobody responds, the problem is with the what you do, that's your product, your price. The answer is never something more complicated. I was chatting with a guy yesterday that was like, Jeff, why don't you run any copy? Because copy is complicated, man. Like you've got your Y-O-U-R and Y-O-U-R apostrophe E, and I don't know the difference. It's all the same. And you there, and there, and there's 10 different ways to run a comma. It's just exhausting. And there's a lot of misinterpretations. And if you understand how copy is supposed to work, you're supposed to be in a trance and magically somehow you spent money with somebody and then you have regret. And that's what copy is supposed to do. And I've never had better success with copy. Again, if simple didn't work, you didn't make simple work. So if nobody responds to your client getting ads in about a week at $30 a day, the problem is with what you're doing, which is your product. So that's the unlimited travel, whatever, your price. And the answer is never in doing something more complicated like copy, like let's test traffic versus conversions or dynamic versus static. No, man, that's 100% incorrect. The solutions, if you're running a successful ad and then it breaks and then all of a sudden stops working again, not broken to good, but good to broken, magically something broke, quick duplicate the sucker and then your ad will start working again. Their entire systems and ways of working. And sometimes at the time with our client getting, customer getting, we just quick duplicate, turn off the old one, turn on the new one. We change the Facebook tech. So like we'll change the radius or we'll change the age. But I'm telling you guys, 99% of the time it's the ad. Like if our client getting ads don't work, it's because of the ad. No other ifs, ands, or buts. If you don't know the product, like a thing in the it says get unlimited travel nurse, healthcare, life insurance, life transfers, you will burn your dollars. And some people like doing that. I don't know, man. I'm super conservative with my dollars. I don't like just spraying money and wasting it. I've never found success in that. You're going to have to do some Googling, have to do some research, and ultimately figure out what your clients want. It's really not that hard once you get into the world. And here's a good test. You go on YouTube and your YouTube feed is about your clients, you're doing right. If your YouTube feed is about Hearthstone, you're doing it wrong. So figure it out, go to not interested, and just keep going until you get it right. If you don't know what to put in the ad, again, Google more. As of right now, we're getting 1 to 2 signed and paid clients a week directly from online advertising. It costs us on average $300 to get a $3,000 contract. That's $750 a month times 4. And even, by the way, $1,500 a month clients that are upgrading to $5,000 a month services. Some people say, but Jeff, what's the difference between the $750 and the $5,000? Sometimes it's the same. Sometimes it's more. Sometimes it's, hey, you want us to add other stuff like a new campaign or another campaign. Hey, we're doing TikTok. You want to test that stuff? Great, here's an invoice. Hey, we're going to do more qualification. We're going to type it directly into calendar. You can do more and just charge more. It's really not that big of a deal. People who have a lot of huff and puff around this usually don't have a long history of advertising successfully online or having positive client relationships that they freak out. Don't worry about it, man. Just start getting clients, no big deal. Again, the person, that's who you're targeting, the product, what you're helping them sell, and the price. What are you charging for the service? People mess this up. Person, product, price. Who you're targeting, what you're helping them sell, and what you're charging for the service. Again, put your price out in front. It's so much easier just to be like, yeah, I charge for my services. Everybody goes, great. Me too. What else do you want to talk about? It's just so much easier that way. Again, this format continues, in my experience, to outperform in terms of cost per sale or cost per acquisition, whatever you want to call it, cost per qualified booked appointment. And by that, I don't mean bycatch. So again, I don't mean I'm an agency advertising for dentists and I get a patient on the phone. That doesn't count. I mean a qualified booked appointment, like their target client, not in cost per lead or cost per click. These ads are the worst cost per click and cost per lead ever, and the best cost per sale and cost per qualified booked appointment. That's why I dislike media buying. They optimize for the wrong thing. Again, right here, person, product, price. If there's any questions about this, try to keep it tight. I'm going to pick 2 or 3 questions and then we'll move on to the next thing, because that's how I learn concept and then back and forth, stuff like that. So you have questions about what client getting ads look like, you can ask them right here. Again, this is in my experience. Somebody's going to Alex Hermosi me and I'm like, dude, I don't know. He's richer than me. Go listen to him if you want. It's okay. So again, client getting ads, person, product, price, nothing else. Any questions? I'll close it down and move on to the next one in about 5 seconds, unless we have a question. Jack says lead form or to landing page. Great question. I have disavowed completely landing pages, VSLs, 5-minute, watch this before you book a call, and then a thank you page video, please be in a quiet room. Nope, if they're on that custom list, they are the target client, they've signed up, they know it costs money. They're great. Let's talk immediately, go straight to account lead, which we'll go over in a bit. Never had success as good as with the landing page. Chris says, so $300 to get 750 clients. That is correct. That's in my experience. I'm sure I could increase my fee if I want, but man, where you're having friendly 20-minute conversations, they're like, all right, send the invoice. I'm like, no, give me your credit card and everything is cool. I pitched in the back of a test and the guy signed up. It's great. Ed says, do you get to see landing page examples? No, you don't, because I don't use landing pages. I only do lead forms. And I think I can show you a lead form, maybe something like this, but all lead forms look the same. Like it's just the questions, like name, number, and email plus 2 or 3 others. That's it. Client getting ads. Here's our KPIs. This is for May, not for June, but for May. We're paying $30 to $45 a lead, and sometimes a week-long period of no leads or only 1 lead. So it ends up being $90, $120 per lead. So again, 30 bucks a day, we're getting 1 or 2 leads once or twice a day, and then it'll flatline for a bit and go back up. It's like that. That's how it is. Welcome to life, okay? I do not freak out at all whatsoever. I'll watch it. I'll go like, okay, maybe I should make a change, but honestly, it's totally fine. Cost per 1,000 CPM, 40, 50 bucks. Cost per link click, 8 to 10 bucks. CTR link click, which is a thing, less than 0.5%. And again, all to a custom list. I've never had success with lookalikes. Again, this is agency to agency, business to business. Only want to talk to people that want to pay me money type of thing. We're optimizing for qualified booked appointments and or sales, not optimizing for leads or optimizing for clicks. That's it. Albert says $750 for the services. Yes, they pay ad spend separate. And here's the reach, which is like always wrong, but it's fine. Again, if they're on that custom list, they're on that custom list or custom audience, they are a target client and customer. I've never had success with lookalikes. Someone says, can you explain more on the custom list? Go find a custom list. You can pay a lead broker, go on Fiverr, go on D7, look up B2B list, find it, upload it to Facebook. Facebook will say, hold on, spend a little money before you do it, or hold on, wait 2 weeks, fine, you can figure it out. And I've never had the success you expect with retargeting saying, hey, you clicked it, but forgot to schedule a call. If they didn't schedule a call, don't remind them. Let them see the normal ad again. So yeah, I looked at the retargeting. It's okay. You can do it for like puff pieces where like, look how great I am, but it's never really moved the needle. If somebody sees they want to buy it, it's like groceries. Yeah, I'll go today. That's all I want. Here's our sales process. Add to lead form. Lead form is name, number, and email, and then 2 or 3 other questions. You can figure them out. And then it's straight to Calendly. So that little blue button, just like that, Calendly. I do not recommend landing page, VSL, pre-post booking sequences, or thank you page videos with instructions or anything like that. That's just too much data, too many variables, too many ifs, ands, or buts. They scheduled, I don't want to give them a reason, be like, Jeff told me that I can't take the phone call in the car, I'm not gonna show up. I don't care where you're, man. Take the phone call in the airport. I don't give a shit. I'm gonna sell you right there. Like that's what you want. And Amazon does that. They're like, you order wherever you want. I don't care. So it should be the same philosophy for you as well. And I tell them like, yeah, it's fine, man. Call me on your way back. No big deal. Again, you should not need to filter anything, if your custom audience is an ad or on point, again, a custom audience, and then show them an ad, and then, oh, you're the person, the product, and the price point. Great, let's talk. Lowest friction as possible. If you do a landing page or a VSL or all that stuff, I know it works great, fine, perfect. Everybody's going to argue with me. But when I did it, there was too much data. I did look at a heat map and then track the time when they're watching the VSL and then cut it. And then I started self-talking about why it would work and not. And it got between me and my customers. Sure, they worked, but they never worked for me. We tried a GHL Calendly, GHL versus Calendly. Calendly worked better, so I stopped caring and just made the decision. And some people ask me what questions should be on the Facebook lead form. I go, come on, man, you know that. Like, you can figure it out. Just ask 2 or 3 extra questions. Name, number, and email, and 2 or 3 other ones. Not that they have to be meaningful, but it's more like to give that person a pause to remember that they filled out the form. So these questions could be, what's your business's zip code? How many X's have you sold? So how many products have you sold in the past year? And do you have XYZ machine? I don't know, you can figure it out. So any questions on client getting ads or sales processes or something like that? We're going to go into more detail, but try to keep it specific to this. Abby says, when you say custom list, are you using a scrape list you've created and uploaded to Facebook? That is correct. You can do it yourself, or you can pay someone who's already done it. I buy a new custom list for about $100 every month. So my custom list targeting is like all the way down. You're supposed to add it. I didn't. I just kept adding a new list instead of adding it to a master list. And so, like, even with like, I think it's a total of 100,000 contacts, I still only have a reach of like 260. I don't care. It's totally fine. Tony says, did you say that Calendly worked better than GHL? That is correct. I don't know why, but I ran a test for like a month. I did GHL on 1 month and then Calendly on the other month. And then Calendly worked better. So I just made the decision. I believe they're all the same, but it's totally fine. Kyle says, if you target nationwide, that is correct. Michael asked a good question, says, up to this point, the only qualifying you're doing is the ad. That is correct. If they're on the custom list and they see the ad, which has the price point, let's talk. Nothing else. Nothing else. Ed says, what's your booking rate when you're doing it like that? I would estimate 50%, maybe 80%. Albert says, for the custom list, do you make sure that it comes with the mobile numbers? That would be nice. But again, just keep buying another custom audience for $100 and add to it. We're gonna move on to the next thing. Texting from your phone. I have 0 automations for my client getting ads, 0. I'll say it again, I have 0 automations. There's Calendly reminders. You can email and the text, and that's it. I text them from my phone. You should be doing that more often. It's a guaranteed gonna land. If you text through GHL or Twilio, there's a chance that it won't. We'll talk about it in a bit. But I text them, hey, did you sign up about blank? Did you sign up about unlimited travel nurse health insurance live transfers for $750 a month? Yes. Great. I'll see you tonight at 2 o'clock or whatever time it is. Or, hey, it's Jeff. Did you sign up for unlimited live transfers or blah, blah, blah? Got it. I'll send you a schedule link now. Make sure you take care of that. We'll talk later today. That's a whole automation. It's just text messaging. That's it. That's all you have to do. Text them from your cell phone, and your mileage may vary with the script. You can figure it out, but I found making sure that they remember it costs money is probably a good thing. I don't want them to forget that my services cost money, because that's a whole conversation that you'd have to have. And by the way, I've never, ever in the history of my experience, ever lost a deal because I texted them the same day versus texting them 7.5 minutes and 962 times in 3.2 seconds, or whatever that statistic is from Grant Cardone. You know, I got to call them 85 times in 3 minutes, man. No done for you client is happy about that ever. Like, I've been on the receiving end of that with traffic and funnels. I'm like, dude, stop. Like, I can't deal with this anymore. You're literally pushing people away because you don't let me breathe, and I've got a business, and so do my clients. So I'll just text them once. If they don't respond, next day, hey, did you get the above message? That's it. Like, don't make it hard, guys. Really don't. Any questions about texting from your phone? Kyle says on Calendly, do you allow them to schedule an appointment 2 or 3 days out? That is correct. 2 or 3 days out. I tested by saying like 14 days, 21 days, and people did schedule that far. And I'm like, I don't want to wait that far to get an ROI. So 2 or 3 days is fine. Those people will still buy, but it's just whatever. If for whatever reason they don't see a Calendly, we can manually text and all that stuff. Again, if they're going to buy, they're on the list and they see the audience, or they're on the list and they see the ad, they're going to buy. And they'll just run an Calendly. It won't be an option, and I'll text them later on. That's it. Abby says, where do you buy a list? Fiverr. I don't know. So it's almost all Fiverr. Every once in a while, there's a guy in the public group that has a good list, but Don't make it a big deal. Just start buying lists. Like the quality of your agency really doesn't depend that much on whether your list is 80% versus 100%. Tim says, what is YMMV? Your mileage may vary. So it works for me and may work for you. First call. So up to this point, this target client is on my custom list that I bought. They saw the ad, which has my price point. We confirmed they're a real person by text message. We scheduled a time. I call them. Oh my God, Jeff, what happened? I don't know. Like I texted them and they didn't respond. Oh, it's probably an office number. Why don't you call them? What? Yeah, just call them. That's it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Because sometimes they do the office fine. Call them. Hey, this is Jeff with Cool Beans Digital. I think you filled out a form about unlimited live transfers. Yeah, this is not a solicitation. He literally filled out a form. He scheduled time. We have his phone number. We have his email. You ask him. Yeah, he should know me. Okay, great, fine, perfect. And you're on the phone with them. Call them, give them the lay of the land, and then a yay or nay on a second call. What is the lay of the land? Hey, Mr. Johnson. Yeah, pleasure to meet you. The way these calls work, gonna be about 10, 15 minutes. You're gonna talk for a bit. I'm gonna talk for a bit. We're gonna talk pricing. We know if we want to take a next step. All right, cool. That's all I have to do. This whole thing should take 10 to 15 minutes. And you give them a high level overview of the 4 to 6 steps of what you do. So how you get the intended result, your price, and again, expected results. If you can't explain it, man, it's on you, okay? Like rocket scientists can do a YouTube video for 3-year-olds. You can figure out how to communicate your marketing, all right? Your internals are really not that complicated. If they are, you're gonna have to do better. Again, the way we normally do these calls is you tell me about your shop, how much you charge, how many you sell at average business quarter. I'll tell you how my program works, how much it costs, expected results. Then we know we want to do a second call on Zoom in less than 15 minutes. And everybody agrees with that. It's totally fine. I've had clients say, okay, I'm walking around right now. Can I call you back later? It's like, I'm gonna call you on your commute home. When are you driving? Oh, 6:30, I'll call you then. Great. They're in the car, they can't get away. They're literally in the car. There's no distractions. If you get an objection, you should consider changing your steps. So some objections that we got when we were going to market and doing live transfers was like, yo, we've tried other agencies and the leads are bad. You're right, Mr. Johnson. So what we do is the third step of our program. We get the leads on the phone and we ask them their credit score and 5 other qualifying questions. Jeff, we tried other agencies, but the leads don't pick up the phone. You're right. We call them, get them on the phone, then live transfer them to you. So every time you get an objection, adjust your steps. What does mine look like? Hey, Mr. Johnson, lay of the land. Here's how we do and what we do. Number one, we create a separate blah, which we're talking about for a bit. We do the qualification, we get them on the phone, and we do a live transfer. That's the delivery of our service. They go, okay, cool. No integrations, no coaching, no CRM. That's all internal. You just pick up the phone. Easy. I really do not recommend a deep, long psychological series of slides or sales decks or one-call closing, the objection handling. You're exchanging emotions and you have to like pump yourself up like this. Don't do it, man. It's bad for you. It's short term. You're gonna burn out. It should just be an authentic 2 people calling type phone call. Oh, what do you do? Oh, this is what I do. Oh, you charge your services. That's it. Again, you can do that because they're on a custom audience. They saw the ad and they scheduled. That's the filtering at the ad level. That's all I have to do. If you are not doing any filtering and you're doing BizOppy ads, you have to do this deep psychological stuff, which is emotionally scarring for you and them. So any questions about the first call, which is qualification? Somebody says, do you tell them the number of live leads they get for the $750 a month? I say, that's a good question, Sean. This is what happens. They say, we do the lay of the land, and I say, all right, these are the type of results you can expect. We charge $750 a month, and we manage your $30 a day budget. Stereotypically, what we've seen is after everything is said and done, 7 out of 10 of these leads are trash. Either they're not real or they're not qualified. 2 out of the 3 are good enough for me to pass them forward to you live transfer, either in terms of credit score, intention to buy, down payment ready to go, something like that. We call them Jeff qualified leads or marketing qualified leads. And then out of those 2 to 3, one of them turns into an honest, dollar-driven conversation where they're going to buy, but ultimately it's up to you to sell them. Like you still got to do your job, but you're just getting more phone calls. And that's $750 a month for our service to do all that stuff, managing the Facebook qualification. And we use your $30 a day budget. And that's how we handle it. Some people say, what if I want more? Great, we'll charge you more. That's it, up the budget. That's all you have to do. Kyle says, sorry, going back to lead form, do you use high volume or do you use volume or high intent? Do not use volume, just use high intent. You'll be happier. You'll be much more honest in terms of numbers. Sean says, do you tell them it's a 4-month contract at this point? That is correct. And Chris says, oh, it's a 4-month. I thought you meant 4 clients at $750 a month each. No, it's a $750 a month client for 4-month minimum. That's how we do it. So again, at this point, They're on a custom audience. They've seen the ad. Here's the KPIs, sales process. We text them, we're talking to a real person, first call qualification. Out of all the clients that I've sold to, and I'm in the dentistry space, specifically implants and all-in-fours, I probably had 2 out of 10 on average, dentists just be like, nope, this isn't for me, and end the discussion. Great, thank you very much. On to the next one. And I didn't have to waste an hour and a half pitching. 10, 15 minutes, that's it. Second call. How do you make the transition? Number one, you say, well, Mr. Johnson, if you're comfortable, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a second call. You'll see my face, you'll see my screen. I'll pop the hood on the car, show you how it works, and make the ad. And if everything is kosher, we'll exchange dollars and services, sign an agreement, and your campaign will go live the next day. Cool. Just like Amazon, we're gonna ship it, that's it. Try to schedule the second call ASAP. Every once in a while, some dentists like, do you wanna do it now? And I always say no, because I'm crabby, and we usually schedule the next day or the day after. And I've had like a 90% show rate on that. No automations, just, okay, schedule then, that's it. Again, Calendly, you can just drag it or reschedule, turn on the automatic reminders, that's all you have to do. The second call, Zoom with a Google Doc. No slide decks, no fancy things, just 2 people talking, that's it. Richard says, do you tell me crabby? I often do. I go, look, man, I sit at the internet all day. All right, I've got little squares all over my screen. John says, do you charge 3K up front? Nope, we do not, but we've never had a problem with a client saying, this is the worst thing in the world, I want to cancel immediately. It's like, all right, well, we'll figure it out. We still got 3 months together. But again, so second Zoom call, this Google Doc looks kind of like this. I pitch anytime, any place, anywhere. This is in the back of a Tesla in a parking lot. Easy. Ask 4 to 5 onboarding questions. Like, all right, Mr. Johnson, just want to confirm, this is your website, this is your address, this is your phone number. If we live transfer this, will people pick up? Is there a specific person or is it a group of people? All right, what's their names? Thank you very much, cool. And this is your hours, right? Okay, and you said you don't work Wednesdays, but do you have a phone person that works Wednesdays? Okay, so if we call on Wednesdays, is that all right? Cool, thanks so much. Typing everything down. I said, all right, and are you looking for X product, like unlimited health insurance live transfers? Or are you looking for Y product? Because we do both. Which one's the best fit for you? Oh, I want this one. Okay, cool. We'll do both if you want, but I'm just saying. Oh, okay, cool. Right. So let's do the first one. And how much do you charge? I'm going to type it out right fast. So I literally have a Google Doc. I'm just asking them questions. It says, how much do you charge? That's it. And here's what happens. When I say, what do you charge? Everybody says too much. And I say, hold on. I'm talking cash. All right. If somebody comes in a briefcase full of money, lays it on your desk, how much is that to buy your stuff? Ah, so it's not $3 grand, it's really 2,500. You take 25, okay, can we do 24.99? Cool, awesome. And do you do financing in-house, anything like that? Oh, you do, okay. And the last time you did financing, what was like that monthly payment? Oh, it was 129. Okay, so we're gonna run now, this is blank cash and this for 129. Does that work? And honestly, Mr. Johnson, look, these are the ads that we're running for other clients. I'm gonna open up Canva, make it right now. The ad that got you is the ad we're gonna run for you. They go, wow, just like that. That's all I have to do. You want to aim for authentically practical, not inauthentically professional. This is what everyone is doing, I believe, when they try to put on a suit during a sales call. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. They just want to buy the thing. I don't think anybody at Amazon wears a suit and they do like $1 trillion a second. All right. It should be product focused, not sales focused. This is what we do and this is how we do it. They're buying your product, not the transformation. I don't believe we should be selling transformations anymore. That's the #1 cause of unhappiness. This is the steps we're going through, very story brand script, Donald Miller type stuff. And you should be signing, getting paid on 80% of these calls within 3 days. Or I should say sign and call. 80% within 3 days. You're always gonna have 2 out of 10 like, I got delayed, blah, 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 but 8 out of 10 times they should be signing and paying either on the call or within 72 hours. And I literally say, here's what the ad will look like. Here are the questions we're gonna do to qualify these people for you. And here's how we deliver your leads. If you can pick up the phone and it says, hey, this is Jeff with Cool Beans Digital. We've got a prospective blank customer on the line. Can we connect you? That's us. And they cool. They say, cool. You don't want to have this be a pump myself up moment. You want to have slow, steady, step-by-step walkthrough of how the sausage is made. Just like that. And very often I'll pop open our CRM, which is on GHL. I'll be like, this is what's going on. This is how we ask questions and all that. And then I say, look, Mr. Johnson, if your price points are kosher,